Good morning, true believers. Welcome back to rumble.com/JJW. It's right there in the corner. That's where you're at. Even if you're on YouTube, you might still be on rumble.com/JJW. This is our morning news. Where's the camera? There you are. This is our morning news show where we meet and we talk about news, politics, we drink coffee, we talk about movies and comic books and stuff that's happening in pop culture media. We talk to the chat. Good morning, Jordan. Welcome back. See, you're here. I wonder where my brother is. I wonder if my brother's been sleeping. Has he been sleeping in? I haven't heard from him in a day or two. We got a little bit of like newsy stuff today, and by the end of the show, we also have the new Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer, and I have to say, I kind of like it. There's at least one bit at the end where I'm like, oh yeah. Deacon's off doing radio stuff right now. He'll jump in whenever he wants to. How are you guys? What's happening? Anything shocking changes? Or he might get up all up on top of my face. Good morning, Deacon. Welcome to the show.
I'm just going to jump in real quick because I'm super busy this morning. I've had a really nasty morning. So,
yeah. Oh, no. What's going on?
Normal Deacon stuff. So,
I'm sorry. That's awful. My daughter was up sick last night.
Oh, that's not good.
Mm-mm.
Yikes. So, yeah, normal sickly morning Deacon crap is just times 2 this morning. And so now that I'm over I've been queasy all morning and now I'm feeling a little better to where I'm not queasy. I'm behind. So I'm trying to get all my stuff. But
you got to get
I have a certain amount of time to do all my stuff in the morning before the show starts. And if one thing is out, it knocks me off by 2 minutes, it throws everything else off. My timing is completely off.
Gotcha.
So I'm off time a little bit this morning.
Do what you got to do, Deacon. All right, man. Are you gonna jump out and jump in later, maybe, or are you gonna hang out?
I'm gonna hang out. I can do my stuff.
Okay, cool. All right.
So I'll have to get coffee, but
because I want to see your reaction by the end of the show to the Ant-Man stuff. I know you haven't watched the trailer yet.
No,
You're always so good about not watching the trailers early, so that very often I can disappoint you live in front of all these people
because I forget about all this crap. It was something that Deacon and I watched over the weekend, and we were like, "We're going to the movies and seeing that."
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it was because we were both like, yeah, let's go see that at the movies.
How long has it been since you've actually been like, oh, I'm so excited to see that in the theater? It's been a long time.
No, I took Deacon and Alex to see, was it the Mortal Kombat movie? What was the latest movie that came out? Was there a latest Mortal Kombat movie that came out?
I think there was one a year or two ago, like a real like modern version, like realistic. I don't know. That was what you were looking forward to taking him to, or that was what you took him to and enjoyed.
That was the last one that we went to.
Yeah,
2021. Yeah, we went to the movies and saw that. It wasn't terrible.
No, I'm saying, what was the last time you were looking forward to seeing a movie in the theater? Like it's gonna come out. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
I think the last thing
Blair Witch Project.
Oh wow. I think the last thing I was anticipating seeing in the theater was probably Bullet Train, and that was great. Did you ever watch Bullet Train?
No.
It's probably on your Netflix or something now.
It is. I've seen it pop up on like 3 different streaming services. I'm like, oh, there's JJ's movie that I'm not going to watch. Probably now that I'm thinking about it, it was probably a Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. And if it was a Star Wars, it wasn't the last Star Wars. It might have been the first of the last 3 where I'm like, oh, I'm super excited about seeing the new Star Wars. And then your hopes and dreams are all shattered and you weep in the corner. It might have been the Hobbits movies.
Wow, those were like 10 years ago, though.
Well, I'm not a big, I'm a dad.
Oh, what about Harry Potter? Were you all into Harry Potter with your kids and stuff?
No. I've read all the Harry Potter books a couple of times each. I've seen the movies. I haven't seen the last movie, actually. I never saw the second part of the Deathly Hallows.
You would have thought that Yeah. I was about to make a joke. Lots of Top Gun Maverick Jordan was looking forward to. The Northman was good. We watched that in the theater and that was good. And we were looking forward to it. Though I wasn't super excited. I still haven't seen the menu or oh yeah, you did Jordan likes Bullet Train. What's that? Oh, he's got is that
My
your
sausage
breakfast?
biscuit fairy.
Yeah, from
My
that
listener came to the door and gave me look,
here.
there's 2 of them. Look how big these stickers are.
Look at that. That's wrapped in like store-bought tinfoil. That is
This is from a little restaurant.
Yeah. But that's a small shop if they've got like, oh, we use this kind of tinfoil, like you'd get it.
Okay, yeah, it is. It's a little mom and pop restaurant, but let me tell you.
Yeah.
I have puked twice this morning. This smell of this is gonna make me puke again. I've got to go do something.
Oh no. Hide it in the fridge or something. Okay. Bullet. Oh. Mrs. JJ's quite sleepy. It was a rough night last night. With our kids asleep. Not sleeping. Or one of our oldest daughters has got like an earache. One of our oldest daughters. Our oldest daughter. We only have 2 daughters.
He was up for part of it, obviously.
I was in it, yeah, a little bit. Okay. Man. I was gonna lie to Deacon and tell him something that didn't happen in the Deathly Hollows. There he is. Okay.
I'm listening to you. What were you saying about the Deathly Hollows?
Well, the whole the gag was gonna be I was just gonna lie to you and tell you something that didn't actually happen in a movie, but I feel like it's all unsettled now. I know, but then anyway.
I know what happens.
So I heard yesterday that they're actually planning Warner Brothers Discovery. They're going to reboot Harry Potter.
Why?
I don't know. I just heard that and I was like, do you guys just want to like light money on fire? Why would you take one of the most successful franchises in history and then reboot it? Because whatever you do is not going to do as good.
I don't think that the fans were. I'm looking for the right word. I want to say satisfied, but I don't think that's the right word. But I don't think the fans were. I'm going to say satisfied, for lack of a better word, with the ending and how the future was supposed to unfold with Harry Potter and his son or his children. And I don't think I wasn't, at least I was not satisfied with
that little tag scene where older Harry Potter was sending his kid to school.
Yeah.
That wasn't,
he was listing the names of his kids and it was kind of telling you about what I was not satisfied with that at all. You know, so if they were going to go and retell some of that stuff, but I mean, leave it alone. It's the story. It was a good story. It was epic. Leave it alone. It's done. And JK has already tried to tell the other stories of the prequels with Dumbledore and all that crap. And I don't give 2 flips about that. There's probably like 3 or 4 of those movies and books and stuff. I don't care. I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to watch them.
Right.
I don't care about that. The Harry Potter stories were really good. J.K. Rowling is a very talented author. She is very good. If you've never read, for people that's never read those books, man, there's stuff in like the second book that comes back in book 6 that she'll mention in the second book. It's just like a throwaway line that you completely forgot about. And then in book 6, that damn thing. I mean, she's a very good writer. I like the way that J.K. sets up her stuff. But I don't think she's all about making money. I don't think this is about let's get some more money.
Right.
She's the richest woman in freaking England, isn't she?
It's all about making money for Warner Brothers having a significant franchise. Right. I mean, like their DC movies are already like in shambles and having to totally restart. So maybe I know they're thinking like, hey, these movies made us billions of dollars. We're going to try this again. But no matter what they do, they will be compared to the first movies, and the first movies were great. You're not going to you're not going to bottle that lightning again. So, and J.K. Rowling had like way more of a hand in the scripts for the 3 Fantastic Beast movies that there were, and those were not very good. So she may be a great book author, but she it isn't exactly a. I mean, they were not bad. They just were not the same level of amazing that the main Harry Potter movies were with professional script writers. Okay, so that's something to look forward to. All right, let's talk about the news now. I know you're busy. I think I found a story that substantiates some of what you were talking about yesterday with Dungeons and Dragons. There's this story that says leaked open game license agreement for Dungeons and Dragons reportedly forbids bigoted and discriminatory content on new and old products. So
no, those are two bigoted and discriminatory products. Those are bullshit words. Those are bullshit words to generalize whatever the fuck that they want to call bigoted and discriminatory. Because if you will go back to a couple of weeks ago, didn't I just say that they came out and said the word race is just that, bigoted, discriminatory, and they are taking that word out and using species. So they're using those two words. Reportedly forbids, don't scroll up, bigoted, discriminatory content. Those are two generic words so that they can do whatever the shit that they want. They are Hasbro is actively trying to suppress the people that make third-party content. I make content for Dungeons and Dragons. I do it for free. I give it away for free. You know our buddy Sleepy. We are We create stuff together. He is a part of my little free Discord server that I put free stuff on for D&D for Dungeon Masters. A lot of people don't do this for free. They charge money. You can buy the stuff that I make, I could put in a PDF and sell it for $9.99. And you would buy it. I would make money off of it. A lot of these people do that. They make some quality content. I have subscribed to a lot of these people. Hasbro is trying to suppress those people from making money. If they make money, Hasbro is going to get their cut. But they want complete control over whatever's said.
Right. So this is I'm not really disagreeing with you. I'm just saying this appears to be a mechanism because you in order to publish your stuff on their D&D Beyond marketplace, you would have to agree to their terms of service, right? Their license, and that's what this does. This gives them carte blanche control.
Yeah, there's other places that you can do this too, that you can sell your stuff, and they would have control over that as well. There's third-party online tabletops that use this content. If me and you and a bunch of people were going to play D&D, we would go to an online tabletop is basically what it is. It's a program that allows us to play together. And we import all of our information to that tabletop without us having to code it ourselves. And they will stop all that.
I'm not terribly D&D literate, but what if your story took place and you introduced like a new species or a new group? Hello. I think you meant to do that.
I didn't touch anything.
Yeah. What if you introduced a new species or group and their thing was they were like racist all the time and they were intentionally offending people? What if that was part of your story?
Then they could, then if you are playing with some people that you don't know, okay?
Yeah.
And you offend one of your players and your player reports you and you're using their system, they could probably keep you from using their system. But we have had this conversation many, many times because we have played with a couple of newer people over the past 4 or 5 years that have talked about that, about discriminatory being in the game and whatnot, and
Right.
not liking being discriminated against. And we have had to let them know that this is not fluffy fluff tiptoe through the tulips world. We're trying to emulate a real fantasy world. You are a purple-skinned elf walking through a town that is mostly dwarves and humans. They're going to look at you funny. You're going to get funny looks. You're going to get people talking about you, and you're probably going to get people not wanting to serve you. Get out of here. Hey, we don't serve your kind. You know, you've got to make it real, but then you're going to have the DMs that's going to be like, hi, how are you? What can we get you? We've never seen your kind around here before. See, when I'm playing with the kids, with my kids, Alex is playing this water race where he comes from the water. It's called a genasi. He's a water. He's blue. He's a blue looking race, blue skin. Kendra's an elf. Deacon is like a stone golem, like a walking brick wall, basically, with sentience.
Right.
I haven't made the 2 towns that they've been in. I could have made the shopkeepers and the tavern keepers and stuff be like, what in the crap are you? Get out of here. We don't serve your kind. But Deacon is 15 years old. We're playing with a group of kids. So when they walk in, I'm having the tavern keeper go, wow, you're strange looking. What are you? It's all about the DM. It's all about how you play the game. You're going to come across some crappy DMs sometimes.
I have a question, though. And maybe it used to be, maybe it's not there, maybe it's homebrew. But is there still a feature called thick-skinned in D&D? Do you know?
What's it supposed to do?
Well, I see here from like 3.0, it was tough hide that grants improved damage reduction, something like that.
Oh, that's a mechanic that we don't use anymore.
Right. So they got rid of the thick-skinned, and now D&D.
What's the joke that you're trying to make with this, JJ? Because we need to get to it. Come on. I know you got a joke.
I'm just saying, maybe Wizards of the Coast needs to like bring back thick skin so they can deal with this real world.
They're just money hungry
all the time.
I'm telling you, it's just money hungry.
You think it's money?
D&D has not been a huge moneymaker over the years. It has been for a little bit. It was owned by this company named TSR for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
And TSR sold it to Wizards of the Coast. And Wizards of the Coast bought it because if you'll remember, Wizards of the Coast were a no-name company, but they invented they had this little card game that came out in the 90s called Magic the Gathering. And that is why Wizards of the Coast, WotC, became huge. And when WotC bought TSR, all of us D&D people were like, what? No. We were devastated. And then because then 3.5 came out and we were like, okay, this is not bad. It's not great. It's not what we're used to, but it's not bad. And then fourth edition came out, and we don't talk about fourth edition.
I can't say I've ever actually seen that in a bookstore. I've seen 3.5. I used to have some.
3.5 is still good. Fourth edition, and don't talk about fourth edition.
Yeah.
I wasted money.
There was now fourth edition is not the same as D20, right?
The D20 is it was a system that came out in third edition. And all it did was it simplified the rolling mechanics, because in the second edition, in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which was second edition Dungeons and Dragons, the rolling mechanics were crazy. You got to roll a D6 here and a D8 here and a D12 here and a D this. And the D20 system just basically simplified the rolling system, and a lot of other systems developed on it. It basically gave it a skeleton and said, okay, Dungeons and Dragons is built on this D20 skeleton now. JJ, do you want to make a Star Wars role-playing game? Here's the skeleton to make it on.
Yeah, fill out these things and you can.
Yeah, you want to make one about, whatever? Here you go.
So it was really extensible to other intellectual properties, right?
And 3.5 was the first system that, and that was about the time that the internet was starting up, and we were having news groups and forums and stuff like that. You remember news groups? And so we were able to share our information with each other like that. So nerds like me were walking around with binders this freaking thick of news group shit that I had printed up from my dot matrix printer. And it's full of freaking pages. And when you open it up and look at it, it's like assassin, assassin weapons, where people have made assassin weapons and they've made a new class, the monk, or, they've made this. So I'm like, yeah, look what I got, a dragoon knight, and this is what he does. And, so I was that kid that walked around with that stuff, the nerd that walked around in school.
All right.
It was me.
So
I like
talking
a long
about way to go to try to get to a thick skin joke.
I like talking about D&D, but our viewers up there says -14. I don't know what
that means. Yeah. No, we actually owe a bunch of views now to YouTube.
How do we get it?
We get it. We're going into viewer debt.
JJW Doc. Whoa,
yeah. Did you not see the title card? You didn't see the title card.
Oh, Quantumainia features Marvel's MODOK. Oh, really?
Yes. Oh, you want to see that? We'll get to that before 7:30. Final Fantasy. He said so. Jordan says, WotC is driving Magic the Gathering in the ground. Honestly, you'd have to really try to do that, because Magic the Gathering is a self-sustaining money printing machine.
Well, the reason I think, and I agree with Jordan, I think the reason that it's being driven into the ground is because for about the past 10 to 15 years, they have done nothing for that game but continue to print more cards, more and more, and holograms.
They did this one thing for a while where they were doing these kits that had like half-page size super big cards.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like these planes cards or something. They tried to shake the mechanics up a little bit, but here's the thing. When you have like an overall system that's like very, very good, when you add in these new mechanics, they don't work. So you throw it away and you go back to what works.
We have mentioned both of these on the show before, but here's a prime example that WotC is driving Magic the Gathering into the ground and they only want money is I wanted all the Forgotten Realms D&D Magic cards, and you wanted all the Transformers Magic cards. Remember?
Right? Yeah.
Oh, and I still would like the Transformers and the D&D Magic cards. Their first the arena card from the arena novel.
I don't know that.
I started playing Magic. For those of you that are watching, I started playing Magic. JJ knows this, on first edition, on Alpha. It was Alpha, Beta. And we really got into it with IC. What was the IC manipulator? Was an Ice Age with the Jester's Cap and all those early cards, man. Mana, Regrowth, and Fork, and I had all those in my red green deck. A lot of those banned cards. What are you reading?
30th anniversary Magic the Gathering booster boxes with 4 boosters for $1,000.
We talked about that. Remember? We talked about those.
I think that was about a month or two ago.
Mr. E. Mr. E. That's about the time that we were really into it. Mr. E started playing about the time that I was really into it. It was Dark Ages and Ice Age was coming out. And I remember Dark Ages now. Yeah, that was just a little bitty set.
Well, I mean, I don't blame a company for wanting to keep revenues up, so they don't have to fire people.
I don't either.
But on the other hand, just rehashing.
And I don't blame the company for wanting to. I've created this organism, and you are creating content for my organism and making money off of my brainchild. Well, yeah, I want a piece of that.
Yeah,
it's my content that you're making money on. So I want a little piece of it, so I can understand them still wanting a piece of it. Well, the thing that I have the most problem with is their blanketed ability to completely shut down whatever they don't like, because you might not like my game, and that's fine. We've had 30 people come in and out of our game over the past 5 years that just didn't like the way that we played, and that's fine. You're going to do that. You're going to run into people that you just don't like. Right. You're going to run into DMs that you just don't like, and that's fine. I don't like their ability to just go, we don't like what you're doing in your game, so you can't play on our system anymore. You can't use this and you can't use this. We told you to quit using the word race, and you continue to use the word race. So we're going to shut it off.
I think there's something there where you can use my idea of creating a world where people are intentionally offensive and bigoted, and that way you can bypass the WotC rule by being, well, it's these characters. I mean, I agree with you. We shouldn't be talking about races, but these characters are just racist as hell. So,
yeah, Mr. E says there was also a D&D card game. Yeah, and it collected all the Ravenloft cards. I had the Ravenloft cards too.
My brother and I played a bunch of these different kinds of card games. I mean, he could probably give you all the names of them, but there was like Mage Night, and I think it was Mage Night. I think so. I could be misremembering that. Yeah, and then there was, I don't know, maybe it wasn't Mage. I don't Mage. I don't know. There was a bunch of these different kind of battle games that we played. All these different kind of cards games. It was basically, iterations slightly.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? No, it was. And then it was something else. But there was a game where you add armor to your guys, and we played a bunch of these different kinds of games.
Munchkin?
And that was
Munchkin?
fun. No, I have played Munchkin, but it wasn't Munchkin.
Okay. Oh,
Munchkin's silly.
Munchkin's fun as hell. Munchkin's the best game ever.
Yeah.
And I got the Marvel Uno over the weekend, the Ultimate Uno, or not over the weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, over Christmas. I got that as a Christmas.
Interesting.
I still have yet to play it.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah, it's sitting on the bookshelf. I've still yet to get it down.
My wife and I picked up Uno for the kids, for us to play family games, because she'll play those kind of games. I think she has headphones in; she can't hear me. Otherwise, she won't play games. But she will play like the card games and dominoes and things like that. And the regular Uno had a foil Marvel Ultimate Spider-Man 1. I was like, what is this for? Why
you didn't buy regular Uno? You bought.
No, I did. No, it. Oh,
you
but
bought
not Ultimate. Wouldn't the Ultimate have a whole bunch of them?
No, you bought an Ultimate Uno booster pack. You can go to Walmart and buy one. They look like a regular Uno, but it'll say Marvel on it, Marvel Uno, but it has one of those cards, one of those foil cards in it. Because my box had like Captain Marvel and whoever the three are Avengers. And I was looking on the cards and I was like, okay, so there's a Spider-Man, there's a Doctor Strange, and there's a so-and-so that I can also buy the little booster packs for. So you very well may have bought. Does it say something else on the card?
No, it said like Uno, and then it says includes a special foil, like just one card. There was no rules for that. Maybe
it was something special that you got.
It's like I think it was like a promo thing to go get you to buy the other one. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Anyway,
that's cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
yeah. D&D card game had the Ravenloft cards, Star Trek card game. My brother and I have like almost, we had a bunch of Magic cards. He got rid of them a long time ago, and I still have the Wheel of Time card game. We have a Wheel of Time card game. It's so bad. It is brutally difficult to play and impossible to enjoy. But I have all of those cards still. So. And you know what? I looked into it, and some of the companies that made some of these games that were really fun, they don't exist anymore. They like completely went out of business. In some of these companies that produce some of these card games, including the one that made the Wheel of Time card game, which is kind of sad because when I found it, I was like, oh, this is neat. I wonder if they still exist, and maybe they do something else. No, they don't exist. They went out of business, and that's the thing. Like if you can't keep your revenue stream up, people got to go, or eventually, you may even have to sell your whole business.
I still on the Google Play Store will look at, I'll type in TTGs and trading card games and look and see if there's a new mobile one that's come up. And I've downloaded plenty over the years to try to play. Hearthstone was the one that I liked the best, but it was just, I've installed that one and deleted it a couple of times. That collectible card game, Hearthstone.
Yeah,
that one.
I just find card games to be so difficult to play and enjoy on your phone.
They're growing on me on the phone.
Yeah,
they have to be simplified. Deacon and I invented a card game for kids years ago. I call it Hero Clash, and that name's probably already taken. But we've invented all the characters, the superheroes, the bad guys, and it was based on superhero stories I told him as a kid. With Captain, okay, you had Captain Awesome Man, but he named them. Okay, so the superhero guy's name's Captain Awesome Man, and the bad guy's name is Dr. Bad, and it's similar to Snap, because when Snap came out with the locations that did stuff and did this, that's what I told Deacon. I was like, dude, this is similar to our little Hero Clash game, because my Hero Clash game was a very simple addition subtraction game. It was a collectible card game that I was going to market towards nerd dads and their young kids, so that you can you're not have to go out and buy 50 million cards, but you have a collection of different superheroes. You have some items and you have locations, and each one does little pluses. So you can play Captain Awesome Man, and I'm playing against Dr. Bad. Well, Captain Awesome Man has a 2 attack and a 2 defense, and Dr. Bad has a 1 attack and a 3 defense. So you have to roll your little 6-sided die, add the numbers together. So what's 4 plus 2? You know, it's very simple. But it introduces a collectible card game, and then it doesn't get complicated, but it introduces other mechanics for them as well, for young kids. Like, okay, so you've got Dr. Bad that's a +1, but he also has his bad gloves on that give him an extra +1. So how many is that? Plus the location is a +1. So I wanted it because me and Deacon would play this, and I printed off. I made the graphics with
Keep talking for a sec. I'll be right back. Keep
I made the graphics with this program on the computer, and I created everything, and we took them to Office Depot and had the cards printed up on card stock. The lady at Office Depot screwed up, and they weren't regular playing cards. They ended up being like this freaking big. They were huge, oversized cards, but we used them and played with them for a long time. But Deacon was like, he's 15 now, so he was probably like 5 or 6 when we did this. And we had a good time. I've still got some of the cards. I've got them all in my Google Drive. I know for a fact. I saw them the other day. So all I have to do is just revamp them and reprint them up. And I had a buddy that told me one time, he was like, we could get this started. You should run a Kickstarter and blah, blah, blah. But I'd really like to print up the cards again and print up a couple of decks and get them play tested. And work out kinks and whatnot within the card game. But that was one that I like collectible card games. I always have. That was one that Deacon and I had come up with don't steal my Captain Awesome Man and Dr. Bad idea, people. I don't know where JJ went. All right, let's see. Jeremy says, I still have Magic the Gathering. I have a box, a couple of thousand cards, about 35 decks. Dang, dude. Buddy of mine went through all of his about 10 years ago and was selling some of his cards on eBay. I don't know. There's probably better places to sell that stuff now. He was selling a bunch of dual lands. Remember the dual lands from, I don't remember what set they were from, but he was selling a bunch of dual lands and a bunch of those old cards. And he said he made like couple of $1,000 off selling Magic cards. I told your brother got a bunch of Magic cards, about 35 decks. I told him, man, if he's not gonna play those and it's not nostalgic, sell that crap, man.
You were describing your game, your superhero game that had like these locations and these characters, and you roll dice a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And it reminded me of a game that I have, and it has locations like Battle World Asteroid and Transformed Portals and Asteroid M.
Oh, that's freaking.
And it has characters like Captain Marvel with these little cards and special abilities.
What is that Contest of Champion game from? Oh, that's from that board game.
This is the Contest of Champions board game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's got similar to the mechanics that you described. That's the thing. So I picked this up, or actually, this was a gift to me, I think from Jeremy. Yeah, and it's actually fun. Unlike
I always wanted to get that and play it. All right, go to your stories. I gotta talk.
All right, yeah. We got some minutes left. Okay, so let's go with this here. Breaking: Mike Rogers to step down from the House GOP steering committee after ballot brawl. You will remember from the show a couple days ago, we saw him in a headlock, and I bet it's in this. It might be in this photo here. On Monday, it was revealed that Rep. Mike Rogers of Alabama is planning to step down from the steering and policy committees of the United States House of Representatives. According to Politico, Rogers said the move would likely happen later this week and confirmed the plan on Monday morning, noting that his departure from the committee is not finalized and wasn't encouraged by fellow colleagues. So Mr. Rogers feels a little like public guilt or something like that. He should just get over that. Way back in the 1800s, there was a man got beat with a cane in the House of Representatives. So, I mean, you got a little scuffle. You don't step down from a committee because of that. During the 14th vote for the House Speaker on Friday, where Rep. McCarthy fell one vote shy of winning the position, Rogers approached Rep. Gates and Lauren Boebert, pointing in their direction. Photos captured Richard Hudson pulling Rogers back from the group, sparking concerns that a fight could have ensued if it weren't for Hudson stepping in. Despite this, Gates tweeted his forgiveness on Sunday afternoon, writing that Rogers and I have a 6-year productive working relationship. We're going to work together wonderfully going forward. I don't think there should be any punishment or reprisal just because he had an animated moment. He has my forgiveness. Absolutely. They should not be stepping down because you just got a little bit hot under the collar. No way. Hey, I say, yeah. He got a little hot.
I agree. Yeah. Why is he stepping down? Because he got pissed.
I think he feels a little publicly embarrassed. Maybe.
Oh, he feels. Good God! If you're going to be a politician in the public, you're going to be embarrassed every once in a while. You got to learn.
Now,
we need to teach our children as fathers. We need to teach our children better about how to handle embarrassment and how to handle embarrassment in front of large groups of people, because that is really a freaking mind killer, man. If you think about it, it's a mind killer. You get somebody up in front of some people and they get embarrassed in front of a large group of people. That can break something in their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we need to teach our children that it's okay to be embarrassed every once in a while, that you need to take it with stride. Oh, goodness. I've gotten embarrassed. Yikes.
Yeah.
No big deal. I don't even know who this Matt, this guy is. He was pissed off at Gates, and I like Gates, but I'm trying to be a common sense person here. Okay. Common sense. What was the guy's name? Mike Rogers. Mike Rogers, guess what? You're a human. You lost your temper on something that you didn't agree with. Watch this show and you'll see me do the exact same thing. JJ's even got a little fire gift for it.
Yeah. He's gotten mad at me and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man.
I've been embarrassed on this show for doing that. I lose my temper, and JJ knows afterwards I'm sitting here typing him. I feel like a dumbass, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I don't want to go back and watch.
And the show ends sometimes. We keep on and we talk for a few more minutes. And I'm like, and it was a couple times. And I've been like, no way, man. That stuff's great. Cause it's like, it's very human. And Mr. E says the fight should have happened. They want to see some humanity. And honestly, I agree. The fight should have happened because I was live streaming that whole time, and I would have been great. It would have been great for the show. But Mike Rogers, I mean, he can say that he's sorry about it, and Gates is the only one in the whole country that should have anything to say about it. And Gates said, "Hey, man, we're good. So you guys are good." So Mike Rogers needs to cast thick skin.
I got that. I got the joke. Sorry,
I got it. I worked it in that time. All right, now for some good news. I say good news. Here we go. Dan Crenshaw, my representative, loses key chairmanship to GOP Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene after calling colleagues terrorists. After Dan Crenshaw called the 20 holdouts terrorists, the 20 holdouts that did their job and leveraged power away from the Speaker of the House in order to put it back in the hands of the members for their own constituents. Those 20 holdouts, Dan Crenshaw called terrorists. Dan Crenshaw is a piece of shit. Texas Republican has already fallen under scrutiny from his GOP colleagues for his support of so-called red flag laws. And by the way, if he supports red flag laws, F Dan Crenshaw. And a bill that funded state immunization information programs. House Republicans rejected Texas GOP. Here, I'll do it like this. Is it this side? Texas House Republicans rejected Texas GOP Dan Crenshaw to chair the House Homeland Security Committee following his much maligned labeling of dissident GOP lawmakers as terrorists. Crenshaw was a vocal critic of House Republicans who opposed the leadership of now House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and repeatedly derided them as grifters and performance artists last week, while McCarthy struggled to win over their support. His vitriol reached a peak on Wednesday in an interview with Fox News' Guy Benson, in which he referred to them as terrorists. He has since apologized. The Texas Republican has already fallen under scrutiny from his colleagues for support of the so-called red flag laws and a bill that funded state immunization information programs, which some conservatives have labeled vaccine database. In Crenshaw's place, the House Steering Committee tapped Tennessee Rep. Mark Green. Sorry, I thought it was Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mark Green to chair the Homeland Security Committee. In a statement to Fox, Green emphasized the ongoing migration crisis at the southern border and vowed to investigate the federal government's handling of the situation. All right. I'm making fun of Dan Crenshaw. I'm making fun of you, Dan Crenshaw.
That elderly man?
No, it's not. It's not an old
Jason.
guy.
You're making fun of old people, JJ.
War hero.
Jeez.
No, war heroes trying to take your guns. All right, for the sake
war hero.
She said Dan Crenshaw. He was in the military. He was.
Does that make him a war hero?
No, I don't know. Hey, he's our rep. I can make fun of him.
I don't know. I've never heard of him before.
I mean, I did vote for him. I did vote for you, Dan Crenshaw, and I'm hugely disappointed.
Oh, the pirate guy.
Pirate guy.
Oh, yeah, the pirate guy. I know the pirate guy.
He called Republicans terrorists, so I don't care if I hurt Dan Crenshaw's feelings.
No, I don't either.
Well, he should gain in popularity then, huh?
All right. All right, moving on. Pirate guy. So the whole time I was doing this, you didn't know what I was doing?
No, okay. I didn't.
I need to go find a pirate patch next for more Dan Crenshaw stories. Okay. GOP led. Whoops, that's the wrong button. I'm a pro. I'm good at this. Make it happen. All right. GOP led House repeals funding for as many as 87,000 IRS agents. That's the good news. The new Republican Congress said, "Hey, we're going to pull funding for that huge expansion to pay for 87,000 IRS agents."
Gosh, I would have never seen this coming, JJ, in a million, billion, cajillion years.
And now the bad news. In order for this repeal to pass, it would have to go through the Senate and the White House. So it's going nowhere. It's going to go nowhere. But House Majority Leader Steve Scalise said that the House also plans to vote this week to form a committee on the weaponization of the federal government against citizens and to end the strategic petroleum reserve sales to China. So these are basic like policy outcome kind of positions that we kind of hope for from Republicans. But the reality is it doesn't matter that the House reverses funding for the IRS, and it doesn't matter that the House votes for these other things because the Democrats control the Senate. So anything that comes out of the House is going to go to the Senate. It's going to stop or get changed. And then once it gets through the House and the Senate, it goes to the White House. And obviously Biden is going to try to overrule, veto legislation that is contrary to his policy agenda. So, and Biden wants them 87,000 IRS agents. They need them in order to get your money. Hello, come here, sweetie.
Are we going to school?
Yeah, we are. Come here.
I want to go to school.
Yeah, well, we are going to go to school. Come on, say hi to Uncle Jeremy for a second. Ruby, can you back off for a minute? Ruby, back off. Come. Oh, look at this one here. Look at this. Rough morning, I guess. Huh? Can you say good morning to Uncle Jeremy? He's over there. Say good morning, Uncle Jeremy. No? Okay, you can just sit here for a second. All right. We got a story that came in from Mr. E. He found this story on Newsbreak, which is not NewsGuard certified, but it's probably it looks like it's KRLD News Radio.
KRLD News Radio.
Yeah, they don't have as good a call sign as you.
News Radio 925 Dallas Fort Worth 1080 AM. KRLD is Dallas Fort Worth's most trusted news, entertaining talk, and comprehensive sports station.
You want a headphone? Okay. All right. So Florida to pay around $35,000 for each migrant DeSantis sent to Martha's Vineyard. Now that headline is somewhat misleading.
It is misleading.
That headline is somewhat misleading because it makes it sound as though this is like a settled deal. Okay, here, you can listen. All right. Now, while Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' decision to send 50 Venezuelan migrants to Texas, from Texas to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts was praised by many in his party, it is now going to cost the Republican state millions in legal fees. Because this is not this is not a judgment to pay them. A class action lawsuit was filed in Boston on behalf of the migrants, and they are suing DeSantis in Florida for sending them to Martha's Vineyard. And basically, he's being sued. Now, I think that I expected that the case would be just thrown out on standing. Like, I don't think they'll have any standing. If you were going to file it, you'd have to file it like in Florida, but I'm not sure. I definitely don't think that there's any agreement that he's going to just.
I want my headphone.
Okay, here, you can hold the headphone. I don't think there's any chance that they're going to get a payout request. So, I mean, a payout, so a settlement. But he is being sued, and there are going to be expenses paid to the attorneys as they fight this case. But I mean, if you follow this case at all, I pretty much expect that this will just get thrown out. Okay. Now let's watch this.
Oh, does that clock not normally tell you when you can get up or not? You need to go read.
Just a second. We got baby busted her foot a little bit.
Oh no. All right, so let JJ take care of that. He's got Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumainia final trailer up. We're going to watch that. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm trying to see over in the side what he's been watching. He's been watching the Y-Files. So, yeah, all right, cool. I don't have anything that's Rotten Tomatoes trailer. Gosh, JJ, you can't find a better place to watch it than that. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Stop peeping at my stuff. I know what you're doing.
Oh.
Look at this. Yeah. Yellow Flash, Tim Pool, Y-Files. I don't know who Jackson George is. Y-Files. These Y-Files are great. They're so much fun.
My kids are all the pads are hooked up to my YouTube so that we can monitor what gets watched at all times on any device. So, yeah, I have a bunch of crap in mine at all times.
All right. This is the trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I know we've already seen a trailer for this, but I'm going to promise you by the end of this trailer, there's at least one moment where you're like, oh, my goodness. So I am saying, I'm going to go into this saying, I am hopeful that Ant-Man and Quantumainia, whatever that's called, I'm hopeful that it is actually going to be good. And my headphones are down.
No.
There's no volume. He walked away. He took his headphones off, and there's no volume.
Oh.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. You have a daughter. But you've lost a lot of time, like me. We can help each other with that. Who are you? I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
It can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance.
Let me make this easy for you. You will bring me what I need, or everything you call a life will end.
This is all my fault.
You may not want her to watch this.
We had a deal.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. I'm sorry, Cassie.
Go back and pause it for the MODOK.
You call it.
Yeah, in there. Right there. Got
Look at that. Okay. So
Looks like a helmet with.
yeah, this is MODOK.
I know who MODOK is.
Oh, she knows who MODOK
Yeah,
is.
she's right. It looks like he's almost got some sort of helmet or something on, but it looks like you can see kind of a nose.
It does look. It looks
and the top
metallic,
lip.
like it's a robot thing.
Yeah, like it's a robot, not a human. Because it looks,
So-
you kind of see the teeth.
Yeah, you can see the teeth right there, and like, look how little its arms are. That gives you a little bit of scale. So like, it's like little human-sized arms, and then this is a big old, head thing. But I think this whole thing is like metallic, like it's a cyborg. And
That
let me
would
see.
make
Let me go
more
back and see if we get just a second of like movement of it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can kind of see you can kind of see his mouth more when he first came up. Like rewind that and do that again and stop it right at the beginning. If you can.
Oh yeah, there you go. Look, you can see it right there. And I like the extra 2 arms that are guns. I was like, well, that's a good idea. They should have done that in the comics.
Yeah, no kidding.
So and it looks pretty fun, and it look, you can see it, the shine and reflection there. So it looks very metallic, but it also kind of looks like it's snarling. So it's actually animated and able to move. So it's not metal, maybe. I don't know, but it looks kind of fun. I wonder if there will be like just a whole bunch of MODOKs or just maybe one MODOK. No, it's not all. Or all this stuff is down in the quantum realm. Quantumainia, Mr. E. Oh, hello there, Padakin. We got a viewer on Twitch, or have a viewer on Twitch. Welcome to the show, sir. This is your 2 dads, Deacon and Andy. Jeremy says my hope is misplaced. Marvel Disney. This is Disney Marvel. It will suck. Okay, but you know what I got from that trailer? I got that Dad Ant-Man is trying to save his daughter, and it don't matter. It don't matter that he's up against Kang. He will throw
I
it
didn't get
all
that.
out the window if he can
No,
save her.
I didn't get that. I
You
got
didn't get
that
that?
Dad Ant-Man was trying. He wasn't trying to save his daughter. He's trying to get time with his daughter. His time was lost with his daughter.
That's definitely the motivation, and that's an ill-gotten motivation
he's
for
trying
sure.
to get it, and it kind of is, because you can see where you can see storyline where it's going. You know, you're wasting time now to try to get time that's already gone. And as a father, I can see that. I look back at my children now. My youngest Maggie is fixing to turn 11 years old, and she's super tall, and I'm like, oh my God. You know, I want to turn back time to when she was little and pick her up again and snuggle my baby, and I can't. And that's what he's wanting to do. Exactly. That right there, man. That right there. You want to turn around time and pick up Jill and snuggle her little butt like she was back in the day. You can't do it anymore because she's a good girl.
No, you're right. No, you're right. The motivation in Ant-Man is temptation. It is a temptation. And he succumbs to the temptation, but I believe by the end of the film, he, corrects. That's the arc. So, initially, he dives in to save his daughter Cassie, and then has this opportunity to get more time with her when she was young, and makes a deal with the devil, and then that deal obviously sours because it's Kang. But by the end of it, I think that it is he will do whatever he needs to try to stop Kang. So, I don't know. I think this is very interesting. I think this is going to explore some interesting stuff between dads and kids.
Yeah, you think so?
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Like, not every Marvel movie is bad. Just, a lot of them recently.
Do you think they're going to make any type of reference to the Micronauts?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm not that familiar with the Micronauts. I read a book or two. I couldn't tell you one character. So
okay.
Now there seems to be like an entire like armada of little tiny things down there. He's got like a whole army. So maybe you got room for it.
You got a zombie cyborg MODOK. So
that's what Mr. E is saying. He's saying it looks zombie-ish.
He's right.
There's definitely teeth there. If I could zoom in, you could be like, that's that, and it's gritting its teeth. It's like they're, like that. Anyway, it looks fun, and but it also looks like MODOK is not a giant thing in our world. It's a thing down there in Quantumainia, so it's a little tiny MODOK.
Right.
So because all of this stuff down here, it looks like, Quantumainia stuff in the background. Okay, well, I just thought it was pretty
cute.
Yeah, that's what I think. Now, I don't really care so much about like there was a part here where like there was like a bunch of Ant-Men. So I don't know if you noticed it. It was, let's see, is it here? Is it farther in? There's a part where there's just right here. Let me go back. That is a stack of Ant-Men. So, like in the background there,
bridge.
Oh my gosh! So
they're doing what ants do. They're making an ant.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like a bunch of ants. So,
cool.
And so those are Ant-Men from what, like all different realities or something.
Well, he split apart there in one of the trailers, so I'm sure there's some sort of something with that.
Yeah, I don't know. All of that's like, I don't know. Ooh. All right. Well, thanks for watching the show, everybody.
Mr. E, who says yes, or this. Yes, I do. Actually, I need to log on and oh no, we're out of AQ this next couple of days. So yeah, I still play MCLC. I just pulled some really awesome characters. I just pulled Weapon X Wolverine 6-star JJ.
Did you? You got one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sure I don't know if I took it to R3 yet. I've been R3 in all my dang mutants. R3'd Apocalypse. I've R3'd Cable. I've R3'd Wiccan. There's somebody else. Ultron.
Oh, I
I'm still
opened that
playing.
game the other day, and I opened some 6-star crystals, and I got a Nexus, and I had 3 choices.
Yeah.
And of the 3, it was like, I don't remember what it was, maybe Iceman and Wolverine, the girl Wolverine, or Cable. And I put it in the chat. I was like, which one should I get? And they told me Cable. I was like, okay, Deacon will like that. So I have a 6-star Cable now.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
All right, I got to go.
Yep, we got to go. Bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:30, youtube.com/JJW8071 or rumble.com/JJW. That's my kid destroying our house.